Hey, beautiful people. Ready for some fun English? I am Jack.
And I am Emma. So happy you are here with us today.
Emma, I have a serious question for you before we start.
That sounds a little scary. What is it?
When was the last time you actually enjoyed studying something? Like really enjoyed it? Not just felt good after finishing it, but actually enjoyed the process.
That is a good question. Okay, last week I was reading about the history of coffee, just for fun, and I completely lost track of time.
See, that is interesting because that was not a study session. That was just you following something you were curious about.
Right. I was not thinking, okay, now I am going to learn. I was just reading because I wanted to know more.
And that is exactly what we're talking about today. How to make learning English interesting. How to make it feel less like a task and more like something you actually want to do.
Because for a lot of people, learning English feels like homework, like something they have to do, not something they choose to do.
And that feeling makes everything harder. If you sit down to study and you already feel bored before you even start, nothing is going to stick.
Nothing. Your brain is not engaged. And when your brain is not engaged, it does not learn well.
Engaged. What does that word mean exactly?
Oh, so engaged means your brain is switched on. You're paying attention, you're interested, you want to keep going. Like, imagine you're watching a really exciting show and you can't look away from the screen. Your brain is completely engaged. It's in.
So the opposite of engaged is sitting in a class, looking at the clock, counting the minutes until it's over.
Exactly. Everyone knows that feeling when you're there physically, but your brain left the room 20 minutes ago.
And you remember nothing from that lesson.
Nothing, because your brain was not engaged. It was somewhere else entirely.
So the goal is to find ways to learn English that actually engage your brain, that make you want to keep going.
And the good news is there are so many ways to do this. It really depends on who you are and what you enjoy.
Which is actually the key thing. What works for me might be completely boring for you.
And what works for me might seem strange to someone else.
So there's no one perfect method. There's just your method, the one that keeps you engaged.
And finding that method is worth a lot of time and effort.
More time than most people spend on it, because most people just pick the most obvious method, a textbook, an app, and stick with it even when it's not working.
Even when they dread opening it every day.
Every single day.
Okay, so let me ask you, what was the most boring way you ever tried to learn a language?
Oh, easy. Grammar worksheets.
Tell me more.
So, when I started learning Spanish, and yes, listeners, we have mentioned my Spanish adventures before, I bought a grammar workbook, and every evening I sat down and did exercises. Fill in the blank, choose the correct form, circle the right answer.
And how long did that last?
About 3 weeks, and then I started finding reasons not to open the book. Oh, I'm too tired tonight. Oh, I'll do 2 pages tomorrow to make up for it. Oh, actually, I need to wash the dishes right now.
Suddenly, the dishes became very important.
The dishes, the laundry, reorganizing my bookshelf, anything to avoid the grammar workbook.
Because your brain was not engaged. It was telling you, this is not interesting. Please don't make me do this.
Exactly. And the worst part, after 3 weeks of forcing myself through it, I didn't even remember most of what I'd studied.
Because you weren't engaged while you were doing it. You were just going through the motions.
Just checking boxes, not actually learning.
And that's the cruel thing about boring study methods. They feel productive. You sit there for an hour, you fill in the pages, you feel like you did something, but if your brain was not engaged, Almost nothing stuck,
All that time, almost nothing to show for it.
which is so frustrating and so common.
Okay, your turn. What's the most boring method you ever tried?
Mine is a little different because it wasn't actually boring in the way you might think.
What do you mean?
So, I once decided to improve my English by reading academic articles, serious research papers about science and psychology and economics.
That sounds terrible.
It wasn't terrible exactly, it was just very, very heavy. Every sentence had 5 difficult words. I was looking up vocabulary every 30 seconds.
And were you enjoying it?
Not at all. By the time I finished one paragraph, I'd forgotten what it was about because I was so focused on individual words that I lost the meaning of the whole thing.
So you were learning vocabulary but losing the story.
Losing everything, really. And after 2 weeks, I felt exhausted, like I'd been carrying something very heavy for a long time.
And did you stick with it?
I did not. I gave up about 2.5 weeks, and I felt guilty about it for a while. Like, I should be able to do this. Other people do this.
But other people who read academic articles, they probably actually enjoy that kind of content.
Right, and I don't. I never read academic articles in my own language for fun. So why did I think it would be a good way to learn in English?
Because someone told you it was a good method, or you read it somewhere.
Exactly. And it probably is a good method for the right person, just not for me.
The method has to match the person.
Always. And I learned that lesson the hard way.
Okay, so what actually worked? What made learning feel interesting for you?
Honestly, the thing that changed everything for me was finding content I genuinely cared about. Not content that was good for my English, content I actually wanted to consume.
Like what?
So, I love cooking. I always have. And one day I found a YouTube channel about cooking in English, and I started watching it just because I liked the recipes, not because I was studying. My English improved so much because I was watching every video with full attention. I was engaged. I wanted to know what happened next, what was the next ingredient, how long to cook it.
And all that listening was going into your brain without you even trying.
Without trying at all. It felt like entertainment, and it was entertainment, but it was also learning. When something is both fun and useful, you do it more, and doing it more means improving faster.
Because you're not counting the minutes, you're actually watching the clock go the other way. Wait, it's already been an hour?
Yes, that's the sign that you're engaged, when time moves fast because you're enjoying yourself.
And that can happen with English. It really can. You just have to find the right thing.
Completely different for everyone.
Listeners, if you are enjoying this episode, please share it with someone who finds English learning boring right now. Maybe this is exactly what they need. And subscribe if you have not done that yet.
It really helps us. Okay, I want to talk about something else that made learning more interesting for me, and it is maybe a little unexpected.
What is it?
Other people.
What do you mean?
So, for a long time, I was learning alone. Apps, books, videos, just me and a screen. And it was okay, but it felt a little lonely sometimes. And when it felt lonely, it felt boring.
Because there was nobody to share the experience with.
Nobody to laugh with when something was funny. Nobody to ask, "Wait, did you understand that?" Nobody to celebrate with when something clicked.
So you started learning with other people?
I found a small online group, just 4 or 5 people, all learning English. We met once a week on a video call, just to talk, in English, about anything.
And how was it?
Completely different, because suddenly learning was a social thing. I had people to practice with, people who understood the frustration, people who celebrated the small wins with me.
And the lessons felt less like lessons.
They did not feel like lessons at all. They felt like conversations, which is exactly what they were.
And conversations are naturally engaging because there's another person, and you want to understand them, and you want them to understand you.
And that wanting, that is what keeps you going. That is what keeps your brain switched on.
I had a similar experience, but mine was more unexpected.
Tell me.
So I was trying to make Spanish learning more fun, and I decided I'm going to learn Spanish through video games. I changed the language settings on a game I was already playing.
Oh, that's creative.
I thought it was genius, and for about 3 days it was genius. I was so engaged, learning vocabulary and context, reading dialogue, listening to characters speak.
And then?
And then the game got to a section where I had to read a lot of instructions very fast to make decisions quickly, and my Spanish was not good enough yet.
And your character died.
My character died many times because I couldn't read the instructions fast enough.
Your Spanish lesson killed your character.
Multiple times, and after about the 5th death, I got so frustrated that I switched the language back to English just for that section.
And then back to Spanish?
And then I just left it in English and never switched back.
Another method abandoned.
But here's the thing. Those 3 days were some of the best language learning I ever did because I was completely engaged. The game made me care about understanding because if I didn't understand, my character suffered.
Real consequences for not understanding.
The most motivating kind of consequence. And even though I gave up on the method eventually, those 3 days taught me something important. Engagement makes everything work better.
Even an imperfect method works better when you're engaged.
100% better.
Okay, so let's talk about some practical ideas, because I think some listeners might be thinking, okay, but what do I actually do? How do I make my English learning more interesting?
Right. So the first thing, and this is the most important, find content about something you already love, not something that's good for your English, something you love.
Do you love football? Find English podcasts about football. Do you love cooking? Find cooking videos in English. Do you love true crime? Find true crime podcasts in English.
Because when you love the topic, you're already engaged before you even start. The English is just the way you get to the content you want.
And your brain absorbs the language almost without noticing.
Second idea, make it social. Find even one other person who's also learning English. Practice together, talk together, even just send voice messages to each other in English.
Having another person makes everything more real and more fun.
Third idea, change your environment. If you always study at the same desk with the same cup of tea, try something different. Go to a coffee shop, study outside, put on different music. Sometimes a small change in environment makes everything feel fresh again.
Because your brain notices the change and it pays more attention.
And fourth, give yourself real goals. Not learn English better, that's too big. Something small and specific.
Like, this week I want to understand one full conversation in a show without subtitles. Or this month I want to learn 10 words related to cooking.
Small, specific, achievable.
And when you achieve them, celebrate, even a little. Tell someone, write it down. Give yourself that moment of feeling good.
Because feeling good about progress makes you want more progress.
And that's what keeps you going. Not discipline, not willpower, just wanting more of that good feeling.
Which is a much more sustainable way to learn.
So much more sustainable.
Yes, and much more enjoyable.
So today, we talked about why boring methods don't work, even when you do them.
Your brain is just not engaged. Jack did grammar worksheets for 3 weeks and remembered almost nothing.
Emma read academic articles for 2 weeks and felt exhausted.
And then we found what actually worked. Content about things we love, other people to learn with, real goals, small celebrations.
And the video game experiment, which worked brilliantly for 3 days.
3 very good days.
3 engaged, motivated, very productive days.
And the lesson from all of it, engagement is everything. Find what engages you and build your learning around that.
Not around what someone else says is the best method, around what actually works for you.
Okay, bonus tip. Emma, go ahead.
Yes. So, listeners, here's one small thing you can try today. Think of one thing you already enjoy in your own language. A show, a type of music, a hobby, a topic you love reading about. Just one thing. And then find one piece of English content about that same thing. And spend 20 minutes with it, not studying, just enjoying it, in English.
And notice how different that feels from sitting down to study.
Because your brain is engaged, and when your brain is engaged, it learns, without you even trying.
20 minutes, one topic you love. That's it.
Simple, fun, and it actually works.
And listeners, don't forget our word from today.
Engaged. Find the English content that makes you feel engaged, that makes you forget about the time, that makes you want more.
That content is your best teacher.
Find it and use it every day.
All right, one question before we go.
What is one topic or hobby you love that you could start exploring in English? Write it in the comments. We want to know.
And if this episode gave you one useful idea, please like it, share it, and subscribe. It really means a lot to us.
Take care, everybody. See you in the next episode.
Bye. Go find your thing in English.